now we transition to David Caruso. Thanks for bringing out the cake.
Oh, of course, my pleasure.
It looks like we had the writing to match your outfit.
Perfectly planned.
Exactly. It's great to see you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We thought it would be a good day to talk Wedding 101 because Tiffany got engaged in February. A lot of people got engaged around Valentine's Day or thereabouts.
Yes, that's right. So we have some questions for you. We thought it'd be good to kind of school people about, wedding and question and all those kinds of things that you have. You have Dynamic Events by David Caruso, and this is one thing that you do. You are the best.
Thank you so much. And people have tons of questions when they're newly engaged. Everyone's super excited, but there's also a lot of noise around you because people from all directions are yelling questions at you. So hopefully we can get through some answers.
I said this to Molly right away because people say, are you going to have an engagement party? What's the date? And I realized I know nothing about weddings. I've always been the drunk bridesmaid. I know nothing. So my question, does everyone have an engagement party? What is this thing that I know nothing about?
This is a moment in your lifetime to definitely celebrate. So I say every part of the journey should for sure be celebrated. And an engagement party is usually something that your friends or family members do. So it's just a great way, if everyone's around and in town, to start the celebration and to kick off the planning in a way that's celebratory and exciting.
I like it. All right, your first tip then for us today is to create a guest list. And I think this is something where it can start a lot of arguing, but there can also be a lot of hurt feelings in your family. But I think a key is deciding how big you want your wedding to be.
Absolutely. And overall, the key to a successful wedding planning journey is to be organized. So starting with making a guest list, because ultimately that's going to decide every decision. So take the time to sit down and really be diligent about who's invited and who's on that list and sticking to it. Don't start letting people hand out copies of your invitation to anyone that's not on that list. It will really help.
And when you say it affects everything, like that affects the cost of the food and different things like that. So you really need to set a budget. Your tip number 2.
Absolutely. This is a big one. For sure, set a budget. It is going to be so helpful to know what you have to spend before you get out of the gate and start talking to vendors. If you go to your florist and tell them what you have to spend, they can give you a responsible proposal instead of giving you something that's too big and then it starts making the choices hard.
So you could tell the florist your overall budget and they would say, because they know what percentage is roughly spent on flowers?
It's best to break it down. So use your list of resources, engage a planner if you can, someone that can help you make that budget, and itemize each category so that you can tell your florist what you have to spend with them. That really does help. And the other thing is, make sure you know who's all going to contribute, because nowadays it's very different. Sometimes the groom's parents contribute money, bride's parents, but oftentimes, the bride and groom, if they're getting married when they're older, and our professional people are doing it themselves. So first make sure you've got everything in the pot and then figure out how to divide it.
And you say even consider setting up a separate wedding account so you can track expenses, which I think is really smart, and then you can both draw from it, which is great. Confirming key components, what do you mean by that?
So really there are things that are very, very important right off the bat, especially in our kind of a marketplace where things go quickly, starting with your venue. Pick the place and date first. That venue is going to drive so many things. Pick a place that fits your style. More minimalistic, contemporary, or formal, black tie inspired. So pick the place and date first. And follow that up by things that are also very, very key to a successful wedding, which are, of course, food and fun. So catering, entertainment, a band or DJ, photography is very important. And if not in a place of worship, the person who's going to marry you.
Gotta pick that person.
This one I think is interesting, and I want to hear your reasons because I think they're interesting and will help a lot of people. Limit your social media.
I know it's tough. Everybody wants to tell everybody and share and share and share. It's an exciting time, but it also can induce unnecessary stress. And the reason why I say that is because, you know what, this is really about you and the person you're marrying and your families and your closest friends. And if you start posting too much, you will start getting feedback that becomes stressful and annoying.
And people inviting them, you said too.
People can be self-invited. Am I invited? Can I be there? Like all those things. Or telling you when I got married, I did this, or what's this, what's that, do this instead, use this person, you know what? Reach out to the people in your close circle for advice, but don't extend it to the World Wide Web.
I like that. All right, you have an
So
event that's
true.
coming up. We're going to put up a website. Tell us really
Yep.
quickly, because we ran out of time, what's happening at this event? Why should people go?
So Sunday is going to be fabulous at the
Okay.
Pfister Hotel. It is Milwaukee's Magnificent Bride Wedding Show. It's the top of the top vendors, hand-selected, invitation-only vendors that are really there to create an environment for brides and grooms to get off to a great start planning their own weddings. The Pfister Hotel Sunday from
What time?
11 to 3 o'clock.
11 to 3.
Can you
and-
get tickets at the door?
You can get tickets at the door or ahead of time online.
So
Okay, at
mmbshow.com, which stands for Magnificent
Milwaukee's
Milwaukee.
Magnificent Bride.
Oh, Milwaukee's Magnificent Bride Show.com.
it is
you,
the
David.
place to be.
Awesome. What does it cost? You know?
The tickets online are $25.
Okay.
That's great. Awesome to have you.
Yeah,
thank you so
thank
much.
you. Thank
Thanks for
you.
bringing out the cake.
We'll
Happy
be chatting
birthday,
more later.
Kim. You've got my number.
I do.
Thanks, David.